New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast the police of Thornaby, England. And let's start with a gentle reminder. It's not okay to leave a baby unattended in a car, even if you're just going to be, quote, gone for a few minutes. Well, 36-year-old Ann McQuillan, she recently went to the grocery store. She and her 10-year-old daughter, they went in, but 15 minutes later, when they returned to find, two cops standing next to her crashed car. And she was immediately handcuffed, placed under arrest. A window in her car had been smashed by the police to gain access to get the infant inside out of the car. Her 10-year-old got out of the car. Someone sees the baby sitting in the back, called the cops. Cops show up. Mm-hmm. They got to smash the window. Anyway, when they get there again, they were able to... Amy returned before the police were able to physically remove the child from the vehicle. They'd just broken the window. So Amy immediately becomes irate, starts screaming at the cops, and the police explain, you might want to calm the hell down because you're about to face some very serious charges. And when they explained why she was facing charges, Amy explained that the baby in the car was her daughter's doll. When she got out of the car, her 10-year-old kid took the doll and put it in a baby seat in the back and buckled it in. They didn't give it another thought, man. So they go into the grocery store. A concerned citizen sees an infant in the car, and apparently she didn't have the emergency brake on, so the car's rolling. They see a baby. They did what anyone of us would do. Yeah. The cops get there. They just didn't get to the doll before she came out. So they're like, You need to relax. She's like, you need to know that's a doll. They since apologized and offered to pay for the window.
Flight repairs.
Yeah. Oops. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Raymond. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Raymond, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three stories. The Wonderful World of Drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, Interior Decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's do drugs.
All right, here is your story. We go to South Dakota, where a Lake Andes man and Sioux Falls woman, they're facing multiple charges after a pursuit in Union County. This happened on New Year's Day. Police say an officer with the police, they tried to pull over a car that was speeding just after 3 a.m. Well, the vehicle sped off, reaching speeds over 100 miles an hour. But during the chase, the woman tried to throw a large bag of drugs out the window. However, the bag was not tied, and most of the drugs blew back inside of the car. Well, officers eventually used a spike strip to stop the suspects, and both occupants were taken into custody without incident. The 24-year-old man and 19-year-old woman, they face multiple charges, including possession of a controlled substance, ingestion of a controlled substance, DUI, and underage possession or consumption of alcohol, blah, blah, blah. Look, the question is, what drug did they try to throw out of the window only to have it blow back inside and coat the entire inside of the car? Was it crack, meth, oxy, or fentanyl?
Well, at 3:30 in the morning, 100 miles an hour, that's methamphetamine. But what do you guys think?
I'm on your team, Raymond. I'm going to go meth with you.
But you said it was like all in the car? Like,
Yeah, she goes to throw the bag out and all the drugs just blow in the back window.
I feel like, I don't know. Isn't meth like, don't they call it ice and
Yes,
shards?
they do.
Shouldn't it be a little heavier?
I don't know. Well, you're going 100 miles an hour.
No
dude.
more heavy than crack.
Okay, man, you're going 100 miles an hour. So whatever you're throwing out the window is blowing back in.
And nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt. They
All right,
were arrested without incident.
I was going to say fentanyl, but if fentanyl was all over your car, I feel like people get hurt. Yeah, well, now I'm going old school. I'm saying crack.
Crack for Ted. And Raymond, are you going to stick with meth?
I'm sticking with meth.
Okay, we're going to find out what these guys were on. Was it crack, meth, oxys, or fentanyl next?
That was a tease.
New on Curiosity Stream, he allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimated.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy. An obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba.
What happened, Buford?
That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop of Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
99.9 KISW.
Drugs is the category on Profile This. We got a South Dakota couple. They face charges after fleeing from police. Speeds 100 miles an hour. The woman tried to throw the drugs out the window, but unfortunately for her, the whole bag basically just blew up and went in the back window and blew up in the back seat.
And fortunate for him, too.
Yeah. Question is, what were the drugs they had on them? Crack, meth, oxys, or fentanyl?
And Raymond, that is the very question we had for you. And you just came straight out of the bag and said, meth.
Oh, no.
And Miles, you agreed.
I did.
D-Ted Smith went crack. D-Ted Smith. Oh, sorry. See?
Oh, I gotta do that to me.
A little reverse psychology. Again, but you went with meth, and you are 100% correct.
Hooray, meth!
That is a methy thing to do. How pissed off do you think the boyfriend was? Like, throw the drugs out of the car. And then, like, babe, you didn't tie the bag shut. Like, we are covered in our drugs.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
That is awful.
Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. Seth Meyers. The Jimmies.
Fallon and Kibble.
Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there in the title. All these guys have teams of talented writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late-night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Some fast food news. KFC, or as it used to be known, Kentucky Fried Chicken, has announced it will start selling plant-based chicken nuggets. So now it's changed its name to KFS. Kentucky Fried Stuff?
What's his face? Fallon.
I'll say Fallon.
Smith!
Damn it. You son of a bitch.
I will say, in the world of nuggets, plant-based nugget is not the oddest thing. I mean, I'm not always positive what side of a nugget, period.
Right, kind of like, at least they're telling us.
Yeah, made with real rib meat.
What is the animal? Right, there's rib meat. What animal's ribs?
The CDC has announced that after you isolate for 5 days with COVID, you should take a rapid test if you have access to one. You can read more about it in this month's issue of Unhelpful Advice magazine.
Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon.
That's it.
The CDC has announced that after you isolate for 5 days with COVID, you should take a rapid test if you have access to one. You can read more about it in this month's issue of Unhelpful Advice magazine.
The U.S. just reported its first case of Flurona, combination of the flu and coronavirus. And Americans are so stressed about it, they started smoking methawana.
Seth Meyers.
Yeah, Fallon.
As if we're not dealing with enough, the U.S. just reported its first case of Flurona, combination of the flu and coronavirus. The Americans are so stressed, they started smoking methawana.
I know you guys never saw Breaking Bad, but a big part of that, right, is Pinkman, right? Like he's cooking, but he's also like a meth head.
All right.
So it's weird, like in the scenes where he's not like high on meth or cooking meth, it's always pizza, soda, and massive amounts of weed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You could just it's just funny. It's like one or the other. Which is I get it, but yeah.
Is weed big in the meth world? As in the, if I don't have meth, let me smoke weed?
I think eventually you just got to eat.
Right? Well, yeah. Could be that.
I mean, I'm sure there's meth purists who don't smoke weed.
I'm a meth purist, though.
But I'm with Miles. I think anytime you're in that kind of hard drug scene, you know what I mean? Like weed's fine, and you're right. Probably like when you're coming down and stuff, people are probably like, let's get some weed.
If you go on a 6-7 hour drinking bender, if you go on any kind of hallucinogenic thing, as soon as you are out of that situation, the first thing you do is just plow through some food. Doesn't matter. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whatever your poison is, it's like, we got to eat, man. Finally.
Yeah, you're right. Not saying I've been there, but I have.
Yeah.
Let's stop and get breakfast someplace. Something. Come on.
Yeah. Let's get a chocolate milk with breakfast. All right, let's see. Joe Exotic. I always want to call him erotic. Exotic. Basically, he wants help to pay Carol Baskins.
To pay her?
All right, so here's the deal. I will say this. I've been watching a lot of shows, but like I tried Tiger King 2. I think I watched like an episode and a half. I was like, you know what? Without being locked in the house, like I don't care.
Right.
Yep. But anyhow, so he's in jail. So he set up a GoFundMe. GunFundMe is a different name. GoFundMe. He's asking for $500,000.
Jesus.
Yeah, he set it up Tuesday night. So far, he's got $425.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right.
You had your moment, bro.
She won $1 million judgment against him for trademark infringement. She's been, putting on legal fees. He's basically like, look, I'm in jail. I don't have anything. Like, my parents have died. My friends have died. My marriage has failed. My partner even sold my clothes to random people. He's like, if I walk out of prison, I won't have clothes and $1 million judgment against you. It's like, yeah, nobody cares.
And that's always my thought. Like, if I'm in jail and I owe you money, like, it ain't going to happen, man. I mean, I don't have the money. Any judgment you want against me, like, I don't have the money.
Well, and that was the other thing, too, right? Like, when you watch the original Tiger King, when it starts, like, you're like, oh, this is a quirky, crazy dude. And then the deeper you get into it, it's like, oh, my God, like, these are bad people.
Bad people with lots of problems.
Yeah, exactly.
And exotic animals.
Yeah, and now that it's all over, right, like, there was that crazy, because the first episode talks about that crazy dude that spent all that money trying to get Trump to give him a pardon.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, like, you wasted a lot of money. Like, I know it seemed hot last year, but, like, nobody cares anymore.
Right.
And granted, now listen, like, again, you're talking to a guy that has Joe Exotic socks, like, with his face on them. Like, but
yeah, but you don't care. It's the irony. Right. It's the funny thing. It's the conversation. Like, oh no, we don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Like, you did your thing. You were, it's equivalent of like watching a weird animal at the zoo. This is purely for observational purposes. Nobody wanted to know you.
Yeah, and again, you just don't have that captive audience that can't, A, like a person like me, watch sports, or B, go to a movie theater, or do anything.
And again, you hit during the beginning of an epidemic.
Right.
And this got everyone's mind off of it.
Guarantee you it's a shallow pool of people that believe that he doesn't belong in prison.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, basically, at the end of the day, he was a good manipulator. All right, let's see. Some interesting stuff here. Yellowstone is shaping up to be the most popular cable show since The Walking Dead.
Really?
I will admit, I've been talking about it. I started it a couple weeks ago. I'm already I'm halfway through season 3. It's a pretty good show. I will say this. People my age that live in the city, you don't want to be a cowboy. Like, people are like, oh, like, look at that, man. All that land, this and that. It's like, first of all, a big part of the show is them having to fight off everybody that wants the land because people want to develop it.
Right.
And then the other thing, too, is like when you watch that show, like, sure, every once in a while there's like a sunset scene. And I've been to Montana. It's a beautiful place. Like I said, driving from, and I always pronounce it wrong, but driving from Kalispell or however you say it.
Kalispell.
Down to Libby is probably one of the most beautiful, just natural scenery I've ever seen in my life. But also, like, that's hard work living in those places. And these guys are actual cowboys. Like, my buddy lives in Libby, or lives here now, and he's like, he just talks about shoveling snow and what a pain it was. So when you watch this show, there's a couple scenes where you're like, it's rustic and this and that. It's like, right, but I don't, like, look, I do want to try to ride a horse, but people are like, I want to be a cowboy. Like, no, you don't.
No.
You got to get up before dawn.
I want Uber Eats, player. That's the long and short of it. Does Uber Eats deliver there? Do I have other people that are going to deal with all the crap? And, like, it's beautiful. And then you go, man, we got 40 acres that we have to take care of.
I can only eat chili so much, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing.
That's what cowboys eat, right? Just chili?
I mean, if I just want to get away from people, like I have that psychotic break and that's where I'm at, I get that. But where I'm at right now, I'm not feeling that, man.
Well, and listen, I have said that for you. Like I could fathom in 20 years just being like, all right, but I don't think I'd have a working ranch. I just have like a nice home somewhere out of the way.
Nothing working. I want indoor plumbing, and that's it, man.
If Baywatch was hot, you'd want to be a lifeguard.
Right.
Yeah, well, right. And that's
I
how.
want to swim in the water and save somebody.
Right.
Not in the ocean.
There's a riptide. There's sharks.
Yellowstone, I should say, for people that don't know, it's they have a ranch, like, you know, this and that. It's obviously in Montana, but it's also a gangster show. But I will say, I feel like most gangster shows always get glamorized. And I love watching gangster shows. Mm-hmm. But the other thing I always talk about...
Do you want to be a part of that?
No.
Right, that's all it is, man. That's all it is. What war movies, gangster shows, like right in that moment, the hero did something cool. I never want to be... Look, you can watch Die Hard, right? Like, man, if I were John McClane, great. I don't want to be him.
In real life, you'll find you in a trunk, you know?
Like, I'm cool to not deal with that stuff.
Yeah, kind of going on that tip, like, they should have a thing in the NFL, right? Like, the Seahawks, you know, I'm there's no way they would do this. But, like, I don't know if it's after a game or in February or something, but it doesn't even have to be Bobby Wagner. They just trot out a practice team linebacker, right? And it's like, or running back. And they go, hey, you've been talking online about how you could make that tackle. Like, go for it. Right? Just have normal people get trucked by an NFL player.
Or to see how fast they are.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, the one time we were on the field, and I remember this, Ravens playing the Kansas City Chiefs years and years and years ago. Anyway, end of the game, there was a kickoff, and whoever their punt returner or kickoff returner was,
we always talk about this.
Anyway, this guy, he got a brakes contained, and now he's flying up the sideline. And I'm not kidding you. We're standing on the side. This guy runs by, and when he ran by, there was a breeze.
Devin Hester?
Devin Hester.
Was it Devin Hester?
He
might have been the Bears guy.
You could not believe how Merton Hanks?
Nah, he was a strong safety, or free safety at
I could not
Niners.
believe how fast this dude moved, man. Yeah, I mean, he ran by, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, There's no way. So even though he was a tiny guy, I thought, all right, I'm playing special teams. I catch a punt. He's on the other side of things. If you run that fast at 5'8", whatever, if you hit someone at that speed, like, you're going to have to carry me off the field.
Yeah.
And then you see how big those dudes are, like, dear God, man.
Yeah, so Yellowstone's the same way. But I won't say names, but I've told many people. It's also weird. Like this summer I went to a beach with a bunch of friends I grew up with. Now, a couple of them grew up, like, up, in Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh. So I get why they have a truck. But, like, some of my friends have trucks. I'm like, we're city people. Why do you have a truck? But it's like, I don't know. It's like a 40-year-old white guy thing. You got to have a truck.
What?
And my one buddy put a dent in it 3 weeks in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Good thing you got that big-ass truck. All the crap you never be hauling.
All right. Has there ever been anything in the bed of your truck?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was super nice.
I understand.
Yeah, like I love there's some pickup trucks that are awesome.
Really are.
I don't need a truck.
No,
I don't need it. I'm not going to haul. And
I'm past the point where I'm going to ask my friends to help move anything in my house.
You think you are. Because if you buy that nice-ass truck, yo, Miles, man, you got that truck, bro. I just need to help me move one thing. Just one thing, man. It was when my wife's grandmother helped me move. No, I don't want to be that guy.
I graduated past moving. Now the call is going to be like, I really need to make a run to the dump, man. Please bring that truck over here.
Exactly.
Hey, listen. A dump run's always fun.
Yeah, I mean, please just.
Actually, I did do a dump run.
I almost
fairly
forgot,
recently with my buddy who has a pickup.
All right, I almost forgot. Like for a minute, I almost went, "Hey, man, I got some stuff." I'm like, "Wait a minute, he doesn't have a truck."
Exactly.
You see how quick it is? You see how quick it is?
Trying to get rid of.
He said if he had a truck, and you're already like, "Yo, man, swing by my place."
I just start walking around my house like, "We're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of that." Hell with this.
But Yellowstone's very good. Again, it's cowboys. It's awesome. The characters are very good. It's Kevin Costner if you like him, even if you don't like him. But he has some unbelievable.
But he would be the right guy for that role.
Gangster lines.
Not like Kevin Costner. You don't have to like Kevin Costner, but I can't find it. He's like Keanu Reeves to me. Like, you don't have to like him, but I don't know anything he's done. Even the characters he played, where you don't like.
But situationally, that is the right role for him.
Right. Well, one of my dad's greatest lines. We were at a picket line. Kevin Costner was staying at that hotel. He crossed it and he yelled, "Dances with rats."
No.
Your dad, dude.
Dances with rats.
Yeah, through a bullhorn. It was pretty good.
Did Costner turn around? Anything?
He did. I mean, he did. Look, at the end of the day, Kevin Costner's just staying at a very nice hotel. Right. But my dad, at the time, was working for a hotel restaurant.
Dances with rats, you see?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think Costner cared. But every once in a while, you'd get an actor or somebody in one of those hotels. Because the thing was, too, is like the union would go, "Hey, we'll put you up down the street at this place."
Right.
But Costner was already going in. He didn't care. Once in a while, somebody would be like, "All right, screw it. I'll check out. I'm with you."
Dances with rats.
It was always fun working a picket line as a kid, though. A lot of donuts.
I bet there are.
Everybody sucking down coffee. You know what? I just want to tell everybody. I was going to tweet it. I'll tell everybody. Listen to my voice. You can hear it. I'm sad. It's a Thursday without football.
It is.
Yep. Well, you
no college,
man.
Hey, start watching some of your shows. Catch up. You know what I'm saying on some of the programming. There's NBA hoops. There's NHL.
There is. There's
great.
kind of NHL.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. They keep postponing everything. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. There is college hoops is back and stuff, but I don't know. I just woke up today and I was like, "Ooh, college or NFL?" Zero.
Yeah,
nothing.
And then I cried in the shower.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick, they even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Hey, all of Macholas, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A Baltimore City employee uses a Baltimore City truck to try and steal an ATM machine. Meanwhile, a thief steals a masturbator, 2 flashlights, and an auto blow AI, all for his peen. If you drive an older Honda, your clock might have gone back 20 years in time. Turns out having 1,000 rounds of ammo and $2 million in meth is a crime. And a girl dumps her boyfriend after his stepsister sends a video of them having sex. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, our top story, we go to the lovely land of the internet where a woman decided to tell her story of being cheated on. In the video, the woman talked about being out to lunch with her boyfriend's mother when she got a message from her boyfriend's stepsister. The message was actually a video of her boyfriend and his stepsister getting it on behind her back. At a loss for words, she showed the video to the mother and then made a TikTok telling the whole story. This is followed up by the stepsister reaching out, chastising her for using her boyfriend's name in the video, causing their friends and family to ridicule the pair of them, finishing with asking how effed up she can be and that karma would soon be a bitch to her. You're the one that's banging her boyfriend behind her back.
Yeah, I know.
And you're going to sit there and talk about the audacity that she has to put that out in the open. And I love her power move, too. She's sitting right there with mom. She's like, check this out. This is your kids over here.
Yeah. That had to be awkward.
That had to be a fun one.
But stepkids aren't related.
Correct.
Blood-wise.
Right.
Correct.
All right.
So, in other news, let's go to...
Well, I'm not saying it makes it right. I'm just saying it makes me feel...
better.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. Not near as sick.
Right. That's all it is. Like, right. This is not good. It's just not as bad.
And it's one of those where it's like, when did they come to know each other? You know, have they been step-siblings since birth or...
Boy, I hope not, man.
Since teenage years sort of thing. Right. Because
I think
it just
that makes a difference.
Yes. Right.
If you were step-siblings since age 2, you go,
You guys are siblings.
Right. At that point, you go like, yeah.
There's no step here anymore, man.
Right. Like, you puked at the holiday party. I did. In the toilet. Okay, I'll give you that. Not in front of everybody. Exactly. That's better.
Right. In other news, let's go to Philly where a man was arrested for robbery. The man walked into a local store by the name of Adult World. I'll let you guys guess what goes on there.
Adult World.
He walked a beeline directly to the back of the store, grabbed himself a couple of male stimulators, and stormed for the door. When an employee attempted to stop the robbery, he had threatened the employee with a knife and made his escape to the hotel next door.
Damn, man.
The store was able to identify the man as he had recently applied for a position there, and he was soon arrested. Great.
Why do we hear that so much? Someone applied for a job, wherever it might be, and then you come back and rob them or assault them, or like, they know who you are.
Right.
They have your job application. Jesus, God, man.
You literally walked them home, man.
Again, and we say, look, we don't want you to be a criminal, but if you have to be a criminal, can you just do the human race the service of not being stupid?
Exactly.
You make us all look bad.
If you're going to choose this as your profession, be a good one. That's all we say. What do you know? TikTok medical advice has been debunked by a doctor, of all people.
Uh-oh.
There's a trend going around social media app where people cure their congestion by sticking cloves of raw garlic up their nostrils for about 10 to 15 minutes, causing the built-up mucus to come flooding from their nostrils. But an ear, nose, and throat doctor has come forward to say the obvious, that it's pseudoscience. The garlic irritates the nostril, causing it to try to flush the obstruction by creating mucus, and instead of flowing freely and normally, it builds up due to the obstruction, causing the massive flow. So the only reason why, they'll pull it out and they got this big old globule that comes out of there, they go, oh my God,
because your body's rejecting it.
Right. It just built up, man. That's all you did.
Yeah, I mean, it's like saying, ooh, you have blood poisoning. So I cut myself.
Right.
Like, yes, and all the blood came gushing out of my veins.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
In Baltimore, a local thief didn't quite think his plan through. The man was caught in the act of trying to steal an ATM by chaining it to a truck. Should be noted that the city Department of Public Works truck is the one that he was using. Police were called by a witness and caught him in the act, and he was arrested after a brief foot chase. I don't know who exactly has the keys to a Baltimore City Department of Public Works truck, but my guess is that he works for the Baltimore City Department of Public Works.
Jesus God.
Good work.
Well, if you've been in Baltimore, you're not shocked. Yeah, okay. Think it through, man.
That's government corruption right there, man.
I guess technically it is. It's just not at the top.
That's right. Jeremy Clarkson, the former Top Gear host, is in the news for a little issue with one of the bovines on his farm.
Uh-oh.
While out on the farm tending to his cows, one of them decided to pull a Bruce Lee move, quote unquote, and kicked him square between the legs. He said it's one of the lowest points in his career, being attacked by one of his cows, kneeling in the mud with a smashed testicle.
Oh. Damn.
I luckily have never taken a shot from any animal right there to the groin.
No, I don't want to.
I gotta imagine that any animal reeled up and basically it's their punch straight there. So
exactly.
Good times. Authorities in Pennsylvania got multiple calls about something blocking the roadway. They arrived on the scene to find a massive African turtle strutting its way down the road, taking himself on a walk. They were able to safely relocate the animal to a new home, though they still don't know where exactly he escaped from.
Africa.
Yeah,
exactly.
That feels...
He has no earthly business being in rural Pennsylvania. But you know what?
Even the turtle's like, get me out of here.
Right. Where do you think he was going? He escaped a zoo or a home or wherever the hell he didn't need to be.
Right.
He's trying to find Africa.
It's a turtle. He can't be moving that fast.
Exactly.
Right? Like, it's got to be somebody's turtle.
Who's not looking very hard.
I've run into a handful of obstacles in the road. Coming up on a massive turtle would probably scare the pants off me, man. I'm not going to lie.
It would just be weird.
Never seen that lost pet flyer before.
Right. Big answers to nothing. Right.
Because he's a turtle. And that is it for your headlines with that Mike Hawkins out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. More Men's Room up next with the Men's Room Happy Hour and the return of Dirty Big Dummy. That's up next.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, we be all about this bitch for about 130 seconds. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.